What's the dumbest thing an ex ever said to try and win you back? Finally broke up with him after 3 years. His big gesture to get me back, an email about how he couldn't live without me, ended as follows. I get now that you're not a whore. That's why I treated you the way I did. I thought you were a whore, but now I see you're not. Whoa, be still my beating heart. I just miss the boy I used to know. Then she turned around and walked away. She later texted me, I wanted you to run after me. If we break up, it's just a matter of time before you ask for your laptop back, and I use it for school, so I'm going to have to drop out and my kids are going to be raised in poverty. Do you really want that on your conscience? Edit. I lent him my extra laptop before I realized he bleeds all the women in his life dry of all their resources. I wasn't about to let him keep it after the it he put me through. I got my laptop back when we broke up and he destroyed the power cord and messed up the laptop to the point that it wouldn't run. I fixed it, but lesson learned. I just don't think either of us have the right mental state to date other people right now. Come home please. Bring McDonald's. You'll never be with anyone like me. Well yeah, that's what I'm sure hoping. Edit. Wow. Thank you so much for the gold. To everyone for contributing. I came into work this morning feeling sick and gross, and this has cheered me up immensely. I promise I won't try to stab you again. My abusive ex-husband sent me a long, impersonal email 3 years after I left him. My favorite part was, we should get back together. I don't want to be with you, but by some miracle of God, I might grow to tolerate or even enjoy your company. He was serious. I laughed for about 2 minutes and then sent screenshots to my boyfriend. I didn't love you then, but I love you now. Itch. You cheated on me 2 days ago. Had an ex tell me that if I did not take her back she would sue me. Long story short, I'm now a proud owner of a victory in court. She cheated. I said so long. Get out of my house. She did. Moved in with this guy. She showed up a few weeks later with her cat and some belongings and said she made a mistake. Wants me back because she needs me to take care of her. Sorry, what? You're trying to move in while cheating on me and simultaneously asking me to pamper you? I would have treated you better, except I thought you'd never leave me. I know I cheated, but your D was better than his. Edit. Well, I come home from work and this had escalated. Even got gold. Thanks you pieces of it. I'm just kidding. We are not really broken up. Me. WTF, no sorry, that's not how this works. Edit. Some more info. She broke up with me over the phone, during which I tried to rationalize why, how, what went wrong, etc. I talked with her for a good 30 minutes at least, but she was content on saying sorry, it's over. I rationalized and accepted and was ready to move on. Heart tender obviously, since the relationship was real for me at the time. At this point is when she said, just kidding. We are not really broken up. I was just testing you to see if you would fight for the relationship. I about lost my it. No, that's not how any of this works. I hate to break it to you, but your plan backfired. We really are broken up, because you do not test me like this. Not like this. My phone rings. Hey, just wanted to let you know that I'm getting married this afternoon and I'm pregnant, so now is your last chance. 2 years later, my phone rings. Hey, I'm pregnant again and getting married again. This is your real last chance. I once dated this guy who literally carved my name into his hand. He said he did it because he couldn't afford a tattoo. And when I broke up with him for it, he said, but your name is carved into my hand. I'm not sure if that was supposed to mean me stay, or if he at that moment realized how stupid he was. Nobody will ever love you like I did. Great. I could do without being loved via a fist to the stomach. A month after we had broken up, I started dating a new guy. My ex told me that he would cut his hair to look like the new guys, dress like the new guy, and act exactly like the new guy if I got back with him. I didn't duck both of the twins. I only ducked one. Spoiler, she did duck them both. He decided to make a grand gesture for my birthday, which was about 6 months after the breakup. He had a cake made in the shape of Australia. He had it shipped to me in a locked steamer trunk. Keys in the card. All of this was based off of a line from DR. Horrible's sing-along blog. She may cry but her tears will dry when I hand her the keys to a shiny new Australia. Double quote. This is after I found out that I was the other woman. And I had started to date someone else. It was just painfully awkward. Side note, the cake was dry. He broke up with me by sort of ghosting me after 2 years together. He wouldn't show up when we had plans. Then text me later and apologize and say sweet things. But go on to ignore my calls for a week. He set his status to single on Facebook, so I figured it was done and deleted him. Almost a year later he sent me a text saying he was sorry, that he was willing to talk and answer any questions I had, and that he regretted what he did because I was the second best girlfriend he'd ever had. I do not. I told him I didn't need his answers and didn't want to be his friend. He never bothered me after that. Double quote. You can even stick it in my ass if you want to. After I dumped her for cheating, I responded with no matter which of your holes I'd stick it into. I'd always be ducking an asshole. Edit. Well, thanks for making this cheating itch worth at least some gold, kind stranger. Tried the Olay fake pregnancy to keep me around. Only thing is I'm the female. I'm not sure how he thought he could convince me I was pregnant. It won't happen again. We were 17 and it was so obvious that he was cheating. The guy didn't even try to hide anything. I still remember getting a message from his best friend saying so he and her are all over each other at the moment. Bless your socks, Dylan. Saved me a ton of teen anguish. Her. Remember the engagement ring I gave back to you? I would like it back. Me. I am the lord of the ring now. We never got married. Yay. Him. Just talk to me and tell me why. Me. Because it's not working and I'm not happy. Him. But I've changed. It'll be different. Me. No. I've made my decision. I'm done. We are over. Him. Is there somebody else? If there is, just tell me. Just tell me who he is. Tell me who you're ducking. Me. I'm not doing this. You're acting crazy. I'm hanging up. Him. If you hang up on me I will kill myself. Me. Stop this. You can't guilt me into staying on the phone. Now I've got it to do. I have to go. Him. What do you have to do? You're just standing in your living room talking to me on the phone. You don't look very busy to me. I can see you. You know, it was a long distance relationship. He lived in a town across the state. Stalking is not flattering. It's terrifying. My new girlfriend is terrible. I miss you a lot. Like I sometimes regret leaving you. You are so much better than her. Just so you know, I'm going to dump her soon. After we go on vacation. Because I'm using her miles to buy my ticket. Like, there are so many things wrong with that. And the vacation was 2 months away. I told him he had made decisions so I didn't feel bad for the fact he missed me and never spoke to him again. First she tried to buy me stuff. Then wanted to be FWB. Then pulled the pregnancy card. Then threatening to have her boys jump me. 3,000 text in 2 days wasn't enough for a restraining order. We also only dated for about 3 weeks. Your sisters are hotter than you. But I like your personality best. Thanks a peach. But no thanks. Left a dead rose in my mailbox after calling my house about 100 times. Called later and asked if I liked my present and told me that's how he feels without me. Dead and withered. Somehow, I was not moved to take him back. I'll stop burning your food if you come back. HWTF. I thought you just couldn't cook. Before breaking up we had a series of conversations to try to work things out. After I ended it he said, I didn't realize all the stuff you talked about mattered that much to you. Broke up with douchebag ex while in Mexico with my mom. He said I cheated on him and told me my dad died to get away from my spoiled princess ways. He spent the next 6 hours calling me and my mom trying to win me back. Roaming charges were disgusting so we didn't answer or read the texts. Way too expensive. Finally my mom got pissed and answered the phone. He was breathing heavy. My mom asked what he wanted. He said, I just want to talk to her. You have to let me talk. My mom said, fine. Talk, he said. All Sarah had to do was. And then my mom hung up cause she didn't want to hear more about what I did wrong. After reading over 100 texts about what I did wrong, how awful I was, how much he misses me, the girl he slept with, the lies he told me, the apologies for the lies, the endless litany of how he'll change etc. I turned off my phone and didn't turn it on until the next morning. That morning I had almost 100 missed calls and 18 voicemails. I didn't listen to any of them. Duck you Ken. Well, she started the apology off by punching me in the back of the head. Broke up with ex, yet she would still text me constantly. One day she tells me she has cancer and is in need of immediate surgery. I ask her what specifically and she tells me she has cervical cancer. I ask for facts and she throws some at me. What she neglected to remember was that I worked in medicine, in a surgical unit, with 2 OBGYNs. I helped them daily performing the exact surgery she said she needed. When she was done, I replied with a very long text detailing how everything she said wasn't factual. Never heard from her again. I only want to be with you. Clearly, you cheating itch. I know it was wrong of me to try and separate you from all your female friends. I just get jealous sometimes. Give me another chance. We can compromise. I'll stop complaining about you seeing them, as long as you're not alone with them. BTW, she has tons of guy friends that she would never abandon. I'm paraphrasing here, but it boiled down to ugh, this guy I cheated on you with is so awful. We should hang out. And I was all like nah itch. We broke up. He said he was moving to the East Coast and if I moved with him he would take care of me and wouldn't have to work again and I can just live with him and clean and cook. This proposal was while we were broken up, so the opposite level of extreme. He treated me like property. I was done. She said she was going to kill herself and tell everyone I raped her in her suicide note if I didn't take her back. I screenshotted the conversation and emailed one copy to her mum, one to her dad and a third copy to the local police. I don't negotiate with terrorists. Okay, I know it was bad to dump you while you were in intensive care, but you were really bumming me out. You're a lot better now, though, so it's all good. Was in and out of critical condition and had several emergency ops over the course of 5 weeks in hospital. He dumped me over the phone while I was lying in my hospital bed. After I was discharged he waited 2 months then tried to come back. He also never came to visit once. He said he didn't want to see me that way as it wasn't very attractive. Told him to get ducked. Cheated on me with more women than I have fingers and toes. Then I found out. Tore him a new one. He goes and gets a huge tattoo on his forearm of a nickname he gave me that I never liked, and was shocked when I told him to go deep throat a cactus. He proposed. It didn't go according to his plan because I laughed and then vomited. I know it's been like a year, but I've asked out 4 other girls and they've all said no, so I thought I'd try again with you. I broke up with a guy because he was drinking and driving. The last straw that broke my back. He told me, I just don't think you'll find anyone better than me. That made it worth breaking up. That he was really set on losing his virginity to me and if I didn't do it with him, he would never move on and keep stalking me. I'm the only one that wants you. I'll publish every nude pic you sent me. I left him anyways. He never published anything. We were meant to be together. And if we don't, then we'll alter the future and retroactively destroy the past. Neither you nor I will have ever even been born if we don't stay together. I married him. A portion of this was in our vows. I wouldn't have broken up with you if you sent nudes. If your firstborn child is mine, I will eat the placenta. We were 15. I had to Google the word placenta to figure out WTF he was talking about. A friend told me his ex said I promise I won't try and run you over with my car this time. Can you remind me why we broke up? I crashed my motorcycle and was in a coma for a week. I have memory loss and can't remember much from the past year. I don't remember breaking up. Things seemed so good. Why did they end? Unbeknownst to him, I was close with one of his friends at the time. None of that ever happened. It was all a complete lie to get me to take pity on him and talk to him. I'm still not sure how he planned on making that one work. He was emotionally abusive when we were together. Apparently he thought he could still manipulate me. My ex-husband told me he wanted me to come back, and that if I did, he'd treat me like a queen. Even dumber, I believed him. I had an ex that started telling me about his new girlfriend, and after a couple of weeks a close friend of both told me he made up the whole story with the pictures of his fav porn star. Not me, but a fellow student. She found out that he was going to break up with her. She thought if we had a kid, he wouldn't break up with me. So she stopped taking her birth control, got pregnant from him and born his child. He still broke up with her. She told me this story casually at lunch when her daughter was at the university. Edit. I meant daughter, English is not my mother's tongue. He didn't come, so it wasn't cheating. Said after catching her ducking another guy in my bed. I had to pull over my car because she was threatening to jump out of the passenger door. When I finally pull over on the side of the road, we are about a mile from her place when she starts marching down the road. I have a bunch of it in my trunk because I picked her up from practice that afternoon. If you don't take me back, then I'm going to tell my parents that you raped me. Continues marching towards her place with tears down her face. I broke up with her that night because she stole my car, punched my best friend in the face, hit on my other friend, and then talked badly of my parents. Yikes. But we have really good sex, and as exes, we continued to duck for 3 more years because I am an idiot until I finally had enough of it and decided that I need to move on with my life. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Video games are okay. This came after a conversation where I mentioned a video game. She gave off-handed insult that was perhaps a little uncalled for, so I asked, wait, do you legit think less of me because I enjoy video games? Her response was, well, yeah, they're video games. I opted out of that and am much happier. But my mom and I were talking, and I was going to start letting you hang out with your friends in a week or 2. Come on, take one for the team. How what? I've been ducking a lot of girls since we broke up. Let me show you how good I've gotten. Whoa, you drive a hard bargain, pal. Edit. Also told me I was being childish when I declined. As I was talking about divorce with my ex, he mentioned how much harder it would be to keep up with the dogs. 2 were mine. 2 were rescue dogs I was fostering. He wanted me to be scared of the responsibility. Then he joked about possibly coming by to steal the dogs after I'd made him move out. I could just open the gate and let them in my car and you wouldn't see them again. I told him not to joke about stealing my dogs or I'd gladly go to jail for feeding his body to them. After telling me she didn't love me, leaving the kids with a friend whilst I was at work so she could go get drunk with her male friend, getting drunk whilst throwing my son a birthday party and texting her male friend whilst locking herself in her bedroom and letting the other parents run the party for her, I was at work. The final straw came when she told me I wasn't invited to a party her brother was throwing, so I had to stay home to watch the kids. She had left herself logged onto social media, so her sexual messages to her male friend were pinging up every minute or so until he told her the taxi was outside. I changed the locks that night and packed her clothes and put them outside her mum's house. When she came home she was screaming and throwing bricks at the house, so I told her if she didn't leave I'd call the police. Drum roll please. But you can't just turn off 10 years of marriage. You must still love me.